Okay. I assume there's a lot of people who are running in here to specifically fucking come in here and trigger me until I literally say you deserve having all of your fucking healthcare shut off so they can clip it and then be like, Hasan wants the Argentinian healthcare system to crumble. I suspect that's the major point here, right?
By electing a libertarian outsider named Javier Milei. Now, Milei is by far the most entertaining person in the world. I mean, like on the planet. Javier Milei, this guy is wildly entertaining. Not only because he happens to be extremely conservative. And we say he's libertarian, not an abortion he ain't. He is a full-scale proponent of the pro-life position, for example. He also does not happen to be particularly libertarian on certain forms of drug use, for example. So the description of him as a libertarian is not quite right. He's actually just a classical liberal with very conservative undertones in terms of religion and the importance of culture.
He's just a fascist, which is why Ben is glazing him up like he's a fucking Benihana onion tower getting sprayed with oil, ready to create a fucking volcano. He's like, it's great. He's not really a libertarian. All of the like potential social libertarianism is not even remotely in his campaign.
He's great, in other words. So he won a huge victory yesterday in Argentina's presidential election, vowing to halt decades of economic decline in a country reeling from triple-digit inflation. Inflation right now is at 143%, which means that pretty much every day, everything gets more expensive, and that becomes a spiral. This is according to the AFP. With 55.7% of the vote, Milei thumped his rival, economy minister Sergio Massa, who won 44% of the vote and rapidly conceded defeat. Milei said in his victory speech, quote, "Today begins the reconstruction of Argentina. Today begins the end of Argentina's decline. The model of decadence has come to an end. There is no way back." Latin America's third biggest economy has suffered decades of crises under interventionist governments big on welfare that resort to printing money to finance spending, fueling inflation, while borrowing heavily only to default on their debt. Access to dollars is strictly controlled, leading to a thriving black market for greenbacks. Analysts warn the peso is ripe for a sharp devaluation. So despite all of the inflation that's been taking place, actually, the peso is still worth too much money because you can't trade it for U.S. dollars. If you could trade it for U.S. dollars, that means the peso is worth even less money. Milei's main platform has been a plan to ditch the peso for the U.S. dollar and dynamite the central bank to do away with the cancer of inflation. Now, the problem is they don't have enough dollars to inject into the economy right away. So in order to really do that, they're going to have to reestablish credit worthiness. They're probably going to have to borrow a bunch of new money from the IMF, from the International Monetary Fund. However, Milei is just the guy to do this sort of stuff. He is incredibly bold. He also has suggested that he wants to cut ties on a governmental level with Brazil and China, saying he would not do business.
Again, comprising of 35% of their fucking trade. Ben Shapiro thinks this is a phenomenal idea. Ben is stacking donuts on it. He's doing tricks on it.
With communists. Now, it's going to be rough on an interpersonal and business level to do that sort of thing. And he has vowed that he's not going to do that. However, he is very much oriented toward the West, which means that the press hate him. That's the way that this works. If you're Jair Bolsonaro and you're very oriented toward the West, you like the United States, for example, you like Israel, you like Europe, that means that you're super bad. If you're Lula da Silva, who is an actual tyrant in Brazil and who loves Russia and who loves China and who loves Iran, then you're good, according to the international press. Again, the media, the international media are they are.
Does it never strike people as odd that so many liberals who will say they like Lula, right? For example, have the identical foreign policy perspective as Ben Shapiro? Does that ever, you think that, does that ever like trigger any fucking alarm bells in their brain? You think maybe? Like so many socknems on fucking Twitter have the identical foreign policy prescriptions as Ben Shapiro, which also happens to align perfectly with America's foreign policy prescriptions in general. Just something to consider, you know?
Smoking garbage heap or run by activists from the left, which is why they hate Javier Milei. Think about the memories you're going to make during these holidays with those you love. Those moments around the dinner table.
Oh my God, his fucking ass.
It's an amazing team to make any business successful. We found a lot of these people on ZipRecruiter, and you can too.
Oh my God, his videos are just one big ad, bro.
I want to play some clips of Javier Milei because he is wildly entertaining. So I'm going to translate. Not that I speak Spanish, but the translations are available. Here is Javier Milei recently in an interview about the left. And man, he's the most memeable person alive.
Al zurdo de no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
He says you can't give leftards an inch. Says, can you define? Leftist is all collectivists, all kinds of collectivists. But why do you call them she asks? Because they are he says. If you think differently from them, she says, he says they will kill you. This is the point. You can't give left.
Which is why you have to kill them. You have to kill them, by the way. They will kill you if you disagree with them, which is why you have to kill them first. Which is why I will. Oh, God. Ben Shapiro combing his little panties over this fucking absolute dumbass, dude. Ay, ay, ay. That's all you need to know about how bad this motherfucker is.
It's an inch. If you give them an inch, they will use it to destroy you. You can't negotiate with leftards. You don't negotiate with trash because they will end you. Okay, so that is who just got elected. The president of Argentina. Again, very much oriented toward the United States.
I think there's something incredibly funny about going on television and being like, you can't negotiate with leftists and collectivists because they do not care about a diversity of opinion. Like, what do you mean? You literally are advocating that you can't talk to them. The fuck are you saying?
Here he was talking about his agenda. This one is a little bit less colorful.
Nuestros ejes fundamentales son el libre comercio, la paz,
he said our fundamental axes are free trade, peace, freedom, and aligning ourselves with the West. Where the highest references in this, for us, are the United States and Israel. And as for China, asked Bloomberg News, is it one of the main trading partners? As well, they will be business partners of the private sector. We do not make a pact with communists. But then what would you do? In other words, would it not close Argentina's relations with China? He says, I would not promote relations with communists, nor with Cuba, nor with Venezuela, nor with North Korea, nor with Nicaragua, nor with China.
Wait.
He says, so for Venezuela.
Wait, you're not doing trade with North Korea? Fuck, man. I'm really upset, dude. Oh, no. He's not going to do any normalization agreements with fucking the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Shit, that's crazy, man. It's not even legal. What are you talking about? Like, what you are suggesting, even if you wanted to, is illegal. What do you mean?
You're changing policies, obviously. Love it. Love it. And by the way, frustration as to what they do with this guy, because if they do not immediately bring Milei and Argentina into the fold, it is proof positive that this administration does not give a damn about pro-America sentiment in Latin and South America. This guy is begging for Argentina to make great friends with the United States. If Biden somehow rejects that on behalf of international leftism, it demonstrates full scale the impact of a foreign policy rooted in leftist nonsense.
America. Famously a leader in international leftism. It's so weird for Ben to be in this like precarious position as he has to make it seem like he's so different from Joseph Robinette Biden on foreign policy, while simultaneously he is like entirely aligned with him.
Meanwhile, here's Milei on dollarization. That, of course, would be the transfer away from the absolutely worthless Argentinian peso and toward the American dollar.
I think there's a previous discussion about dollarization. Actually, strictly speaking, it's to get rid of the central bank. The dollarization is an instrumental issue at the end of the day. There are four argumentative axes. One has to do with a moral issue, which is that stealing is wrong, and seigniorage is nothing more or less than a swindle by politicians against good people. Therefore, let's say if we consider that stealing is wrong, one of the greatest thieves in the history of mankind is the central bank. The second point has to do with a technical issue, because in the Argentine case, it is more evident.
I feel like he's like trying to offset the anger that Argentinian people feel towards the IMF into the central bank. Like, Argentina's problem is not currency mismanagement. What the fuck? Like, there is a far greater issue there beyond currency mismanagement and beyond corruption too. Stop saying it's their corruption. Some of you motherfuckers honestly are about to experience the dollarization firsthand. Oh my God. I don't know how to describe any of this. Brother, you just don't get it. Bro, I already explained it to you. It's pretty fucking simple. Do you like having health care? How would you feel if it's gone? Do you feel like simply saying, oh no, he can't take away our health care by privatizing it? It's not going to. Hasan, you aren't from Argentina law. Oh my God. Okay. I assume there's a lot of people who are running in here to specifically fucking come in here and trigger me until I literally say you deserve having all of your fucking healthcare shut off so they can clip it and then be like, Hasan wants the Argentinian healthcare system to crumble. I suspect that's the major point here, right?
When a product has no demand, its price is zero. So, if the local currency has no demand, and its price should be zero, the equilibrium real balances are zero. Whatever amount of money a central bank wishes to impose, the counterpart is that the price level is infinite. Demand and its price should be zero. Equilibrium real balances are zero. Whatever amount of money a central bank wants to impose, the flip side is that the price level has infinity.
Okay, this is correct. What he's saying is you can't just pump money into the economy and then pretend that the money is worth anything. It isn't. He's staunchly anti-abortion. He favors looser gun laws. He's criticized Pope Francis in the most colorful of terms. He makes me look like a piker in that particular department. He used to carry around a chainsaw in a symbol of his plan.
Who the fuck says piker unironically? That's crazy.
To the government, which is just the best. This is just the best. And again, here's maybe my favorite Milei video. There are a bunch of them that are just spectacular. And if you've never seen a picture of Milei, he looks like...
Piker means like, I'm going to use the G word here, or I guess traveler. It means like a schemer, I think. Like the Irish travelers are called pikeys. Not me. He just is talking... Like, I've never heard someone use that in the English language.
Dorky Wolverine. It's amazing. He's got... like the big hair, and he's got mutton chops, and he's famously suggested that he's not cut his hair since high school. He's a very kind of Trumpy character in his own personal life. He used to talk pretty openly about being like a tantric sex guru and all the rest of this kind of stuff. It's hysterical stuff. This is the video that probably of him has gone the most viral.
If this guy was a leftist, Ben would be fucking losing his mind, being like, look at this stupid ass hair. Talks about tantric sex stuff. But because he's an anti-communist, oh my God, he's cumming his pants.
And for those who can't see, he is standing next to a whiteboard with taped up on the whiteboard are the names of the various ministries in Argentina. And he's just going through and ripping them down and saying that he's going to throw them out. Here we go. He says, Ministry of Sports and Tourism, out. Ministry of Culture, fuera. Ministry of the Environment and Sustainable Development, out. Ministry of Women, Genders and Diversity, out. Ministry of Public Works, He says out. Even if you resist, it's stuck to the board. Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. Ministry of Labor, Employment, and Social Security. Ministry of Education, Indoctrination, out. Ministry of Transport, out. Ministry of Health, out. Ministry of Social Development, out. The theory of politics is over. Long live damn liberty. He's great. Are you tired of the lies and the twist of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah.
Dude, this was like 3 minutes of Ben actually offering insight. And there was no insight at all, really.